Today we are changing the radiator on this 1997 GMC Safari. This one is made by Nissan's and it does not include the quick connect flare nuts. Order those separately and make sure you get GM genuine. Order 2 transmission oil quick connects and 2 motor oil quick connects. The transmission oil quick connects are obviously smaller, but all 4 of them already have the retaining clip set. All 4 have the appropriate O-ring already set. It's just a matter of bolting it onto your radiator. Cost is at least $150, so let's get to it. Open up your drain plug and collect that nasty fluid. Open up your radiator cap to relieve pressure. And as you can tell, the reason I'm changing the radiator is it has a crack in the front, and whenever I put pressure on the engine, coolant sprays all over the front. Look at all this right here. Look at this mess. At this point, I've already removed the air intake and the upper fan shroud. Basically, what you'll need is a large flathead, some hose clamp pliers, 12-inch extension with a 10mm socket. I've blocked off the air intake with a shipping plastic bag and a hairband. And the thermostat housing, I blocked it off with an old bubble wrap and another hairband. If you want to remove the lower fan shroud, just work it along the fan. Yeah. On the radiator itself, I have already removed the bottom radiator hose. Next, we're going to disconnect that transmission oil cooler line. It's on the passenger side. The trick here is to remove this retaining clip. So first, you push the plastic cover clip about 2 inches back. Then using 2 picks, you unseat the retaining clip, and with your other pick, grab it. And that's it. Now you can pull this out. Lots of force. Yeah. Do that for the bottom one. And next, the motor oil cooler lines. These are on the driver's side. They do not have a plastic cover. And just do the same thing you did. Unseat the retaining clip or the E-clip, and then just pull it out. So after spraying plenty of penetrating fluid, I just brute forced it out and it finally gave. Now we undo those 4 radiator bolts in front of the condenser and we can just lift it up. Now I already have a detailed video on how to remove the grille and these lights, so I'm gonna give you the gist of it now. Remove the top headlamp by removing 4 10mm bolts. Then you can lift this up and disconnect the bulb on the bottom parking lamp. It uses 2 Phillips heads, screws, and then you can just unclip it. Now the actual grille has 7mm bolts, 4 of them, and the other one on the other side. There's not much to it. You don't have to completely remove the grille, you just have to pull it towards you. I put one of the screws back in so the headlamps don't fall. And I normally like to use a 1/2 inch drive ratchet. But for this operation, a 1/4 inch drive ratchet with a 10mm socket just fits perfectly in there. There's 2 10mm bolts on this side and 2 on the other. After removing the 4 bolts in front of the condenser, and removing this line that goes to your overfill tank, the radiator just slides up. Oh yeah, look at that. Our crack is right there. Yeah, that'll leak all right. Now your old radiator has 4 clips that you need to transfer onto the new radiator. These guys right here. To get them out, just use a large flathead. Place it on the bottom of the clip and then just push out. Now your old radiator has these rubber mounts that you switch on over. You can either buy new or recycle them. I'm just gonna clean these out and put them back in there because they're about 16 bucks a piece. Now it's time to replace the radiator. Place the fittings where they belong. Some people like to lubricate the O-rings with the appropriate oil. All 4 fittings are torqued down to 33 foot-pounds. For the smaller transmission oil fittings, you use an 18mm socket. For the larger motor oil fittings, you'll use a 1-inch socket. Slide in your radiator. Basically, 2 ears sit on 2 metal rings on the inside. You want to begin by tightening the 2 bolts, the 2 10mm bolts on the driver's side. From there on, finish up with the 10mm bolts on the passenger. I torqued them down to snug. Once you have the radiator set, your oil cooler lines just pop into place. All 4 of them have this yellow guideline. Basically, it has to not be visible once you pop it into place. Now do the same for the transmission lines, except the transmission lines have this plastic clip that goes on here. These don't. Give it a nice tug, make sure it can't come out. And there we go, job complete. We bled the air out of the system. No leaks, no overheating. Now GM calls for these pellets every time you empty out the radiator. Supposedly, if you don't put these in, your water pump can prematurely fail. It's up to you to add those. I didn't, and everything seems to be good so far. If anything happens, I'll let you know in the comments. But for right now, have a good day, you guys.